Yep, you can sleep now, man. You can sleep now, dog. You can sleep now. I respect it, bro. I respect it, bro. And you know what? You fought your ass off. You did. You fought your ass off. That heart's still there, bro. That heart is still there. Anyways, man, look.
He was timing real well, and my timing was kind of off.
Is that the 3 years off was?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse.
I think he announced that he's not gonna fight in the ring anymore. Obviously, you think that's the right decision based on what you saw here tonight, right?
Yeah, he been in a lot of wars, you know, with his fighting style. Come forward, take some punishment, dish some punishment, and try to break somebody down. That type of style, you know, it only goes so far.
Tim Bradley explained that Errol Spence Jr. looked sharp early, using smart footwork and movement to dictate the pace. However, Tim Tszyu stayed composed, patiently waiting for his opportunity before landing a crushing right hand that rocked Spence and completely shifted the momentum of the fight.
Damn. His balance is all off. Like he was in the high heels and shit fighting, huh? Balance all off and leaning forward, top heavy like a mother. See, I know what y'all, a lot of y'all probably wondering, y'all like, why you got your shirt off, Tim? Shit, this is in memory of Spence, damn it. That's what this is right here. This in memory of Spence, damn it. Shit. He got on the plane with his shirt off last night. Shit, he was in the press conference. Shit, after the fight in the locker room. Shit, Spence had his shirt on the whole time. This is in love and memory of damn Errol Spence. My damn shirt off. My damn taco meat out. Shit. Man, I got a little jack cheese on that shit now. Ooh, yeah, man. Shit, face looking black as hell, body looking Creole. I'm toe up. Shit, doctor was right. I'm low in vitamin D.
Crawford credits Tim Tszyu for his patience and effective body work, stating that he did exactly what was necessary to secure the victory.
On the flip side, what'd you think of how Tim fought?
Tim did what Tim had to do to get the victory. Yeah, he was patient. He went well to the body, and you know, he threw the right hand, landed the right hand when he had to, and he got the job done.
Spence officially announces his decision to retire, noting that the physical toll of the 12-round fight confirmed it was time to step away. Spence discusses the difficulty of the fight, acknowledging that his timing was off and praising Tim Tsyu's performance.
Nah, man, I'm not. There's no reason to fight, man. You know, I asked a lot of questions tonight for myself personally, and you know, going 12 rounds and you know, realizing how long that 12 rounds was. You know, it's time to hang them up because that 12 rounds isn't that long. But it was a long 12 rounds tonight.
Blue Blood TV discussed Errol Spence Jr.'s official retirement following his defeat to Tim Tszyu in Australia. The host also broke down the fight, saying he had Spence ahead 3-2 through 5 rounds before Tszyu took control and shifted the momentum in the 6th.
Errol Spence somewhat shot his load. I'm not saying no diddy. I'm a grown man. You understand what it means. And he was fighting at a pace too fast, too overzealous, and too undisciplined. Tim Tszyu is now 28 wins, 3 losses, no draw, 18 wins by way of knockout. Twice in his career, he was knocked out. He wins a unanimous decision against Errol Spence.
Fannin analyzed the fight by pointing to Tim Tsyu's size and relentless pressure as key factors. He felt the naturally bigger fighter dictated the pace throughout, preventing Errol Spence from settling into his rhythm or executing his usual game plan.
I was hopeful for Errol in this fight with Tim Tszyu, but I knew what he was up against. Tim Tszyu is a very, very solid fighter, man. Very big fighter. His last 2 fights was spent at 160 pounds. Errol, this is the first time Errol fought in 3 years, 2 weight classes up from where he had fought last time. So, you know, going into the fight, the writing was kind of on the wall. I didn't do too much of a prediction about the fight. It was like, man, I don't really know what's gonna happen. It just depends on what Errol comes back. Errol comes into the fight. Very first round, he looks like he's off balance. Looked like he was leaning in, reaching for his shots. Didn't look like he had a lot of pop on his punches. Didn't look like he had a lot of punch resistance. Wasn't the greatest. But I will tell you this, though, man. Errol Spence Jr. showed in that fight that he's got tremendous, tremendous heart, man. And he showed what made him such an incredible champion, man, because he very well could have got stopped in that fight, man, if he did not bite.
Coach Bredman weighed in on Errol Spence Jr.'s punching power, comparing it to Jaron Boots Ennis. He acknowledged that Spence has always been a strong puncher, but suggested that many now view Boots as the fighter with the more explosive and devastating power.
A little bit awkward. A judge will take that round away from you, even if no significant punches was landed. And I saw Earl's body language as he looked like he was like in a little bit of distress a little bit. And his legs, were a little bit unsteady. So maybe they was judging that against him. But he was landing some decent shots, you know what I mean? And there was something that was making Tszyu slow down and not just run up on him and just try to knock his head off. So but
it was the body attack?
Yeah, Earl is heavy-handed. He's heavy-handed. I caught pads with him. He has like blunt trauma type power, not like the sharp power like say like a Hearns.
Is it like JYD? He just shout out to him and his knockout that he just had recently as well.
No, Jay Punch a little harder. Jay Punch harder than Earl. Jay Punch, but I don't want to. They different size men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Greg believes Errol Spence has made the right decision by retiring, while the host feels he should have stepped away from boxing much earlier. After everything Spence has been through, both agree his health and long-term future matter more than another fight.
I'm happy that Errol is retiring. I think he made a cogent point in that fighters stick around for way too long when they don't have it anymore. He challenged himself to come back to see what he had left. I don't think he wanted to end his career the way that last fight ended with Terence Crawford, and so he wanted to come back and do something for himself and end his career the right way. I would tell you that although he's hanging it up when he should, I would tell you that he probably should have hung it up after Terence Crawford, because all this proved was that he wasn't what he was in the past. That's really all it proved, and he did get the opportunity to see himself through 12 rounds. I'm be honest with you, I thought Tszyu took it light on him. I thought Tszyu could have not. I told Jason that I thought Tszyu was going to knock Errol out.
Paulie Malignaggi believes Errol Spence's long layoff, repeated injuries, and years of brutal battles finally caught up with him. He says boxing is a tough life that takes a heavy toll, and after everything Spence has endured, it's no surprise his performances have been affected.
You just weren't sure which Spence you were going to get, and that's why it was, for me, such a difficult fight for me to pick a winner. And if you noticed in any of the analyst work I did, I wasn't really picking a winner. I actually was wrong anyway, because I thought the fight would end in a stoppage regardless of who wins, because both guys, to me, looked a little bit unsteady in the most recent fights that they had, regardless of the fact that Spence's most recent fight was years ago, and also from the fact that neither guy has ever lost a fight that goes the distance. Every loss that these guys had going into this fight was by KO. So I took some things into perspective, and I was like, man, I cannot pick a winner. I just don't know enough about Errol Spence and what he's got left. And we knew the question marks about Tszyu, but there were gonna inevitably be question marks about Errol Spence that had to be answered. Some people obviously didn't want to believe that, and were a little bit too secure in their thought about an Errol Spence victory. But this is just life, guys. I mean, this is what happens, to fighters if they have too many tough fights. If you live a tough.
Ronnie Shields explained that Errol Spence Jr.'s comeback isn't about winning more world titles. Instead, it's driven by a personal desire to prove something to himself and ensure his career doesn't end with the disappointment of his previous defeat.
The intention is not to come back to try to win world titles. That's not the intention. He just didn't want to go out the way he went out. The intention is for his own personal self. That, I may fight 1, 2, maybe, but no more than 3 fights. He say, anytime I lose,
Frederick Hawthorne advised Errol Spence Jr. to take greater control of his finances and career. He believes Spence would have benefited from choosing different professional partnerships, stressing that financial independence is just as important as success inside the boxing ring.
This was over 4 years ago, man. It was. It was. It was over before the Terence Crawford fight. He was told not to fight again for the Pacquiao fight. Yep. Get your money, man. That's all I'm saying. Get your money. Make sure you're in control of your money. You should have went in partnership with me. But I know that
Errol Spence Jr. explained the story behind his signature rat tail, saying it's part of his personal style and identity. Looking ahead to his clash with Tszyu, Spence expressed confidence, saying he's fully focused and ready to prove he's still among boxing's elite.
I always wanted. I had one when I was a kid.
Really?
And I always wanted a rat tail. And I was gonna cut my dreads off. And at first I was gonna get wigs. You know, wigs. Yeah. I was gonna get some wigs. And my girl was like, man, you better not get no wigs. You gonna look crazy. So I was like, I bet. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna get I'm gonna get a rat tail then. And
Really? That's how
I was like, man, I'm gonna get a rat tail. So
But is it a real rat?
wigged it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a wig. I turned it into a wig.
Really?
It's one wig.
Really? Let
Yeah.
me see that thing again, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
It's one wig, you know what I'm saying? Just doing something different, bro. You know,
I love it.
You know, some people got stuff to say, but
Nah.
I ain't no follower, bro. You know, I like to do my own thing. So
There you go, my man. You've been out 3 years now.
yeah.
Big fight coming up July 26th.
Tszyu reflected on his performance, saying he knows he could have done even better. Still, defeating a boxing legend like Errol Spence Jr. is a moment he'll always cherish, calling it a huge milestone in his career.
No, I think I can do better. I think I need to let my hands go a bit more. I could have. I felt like I could have stopped him. Felt like it was there for the taking. But look, I'm pretty happy with beating a legend, Errol Spence, in one of the biggest fights of Australian boxing history. You know, it's pretty cool. I don't think it's sunk in yet.
How it feel?
Nothing. Like, it was strong, but like, I don't know. It was nothing like I've never felt before.
So as the fight progressed, did you feel that it was fatigued?
Yeah, I could feel it. When I was hitting him in the body, I could feel him really slowing down. And I remember the face he had during Crawford, and he had the same face. It was like bruised up and his eyes were swollen.
Ben Thompson believes Errol Spence Jr. has nothing left to prove. He says that while Spence still has his abilities, now is the perfect time to retire, protect his health, and focus on his family. For Thompson, walking away now would be the smartest victory of Spence's career.
Yeah, it is time for him to hang it up. He had a great career, but honestly speaking, it's time for him to hang it up. There's no doubt about it, right? The old Spence is no more. He ain't gonna show up. I don't know what's up with his legs again. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is hope for the best for him. But like he said, man, he got a good thing at home. He got all his faculties. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he putting down the drink he drank. Maybe he already has. Maybe he talked about it. I'm not sure. And like he said, man, he got a beautiful family at home, man. Take care of your kids. You made it come back. I can definitely see you kicking. It all depends on who I fight, man. Don't put me in there with the...
If you're enjoying the content here on Fight Circuit, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the biggest stories in boxing. Here at Fight Circuit, we bring you the latest boxing news, fight breakdowns, expert reactions, interviews, and everything happening inside the ring. From breaking updates to post-fight analysis, we've got you covered. Join the Fight Circuit community, share your predictions in the comments, and stay connected for more boxing action. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.